think we're live. Yeah. What's up? Live stream extravaganza, as always, on a Wednesday. Excited to see who pops in. This was not very advertised, so this might be an intimate group. Might be a little baby group, but we'll see what happens. Could be a nice crowd. Could be three of us talking music. Either way, it'll be a fun time. So thank you for either watching this on the replay or watching it now. Nick, you made it on your break at work. What a perfect time to go on a break. Is it a 15 or an hour? Hopefully an hour. This is probably not going to be an hour live stream just because I only have 2 records to open, and then I'll basically stick around for as long as I have questions. But I wanted to just not leave you guys hanging this week because I have a lot of things cooking for next week and the week after. I'm going away this weekend, so I'm a little busy right now. But, oh wow, we got some comments. We got Johnny's here, Corey, Chris, Janosh, Law Dude. We got Ben, Travis, get a job, very cute. Mike, first time you made it to a live stream. Well, welcome, Mike. We're glad to have you. Dylan's here. Drew. Wow. Tony. All right, we got the gang. Gang. Too Many Records gang. All right. Let's there are some questions coming in right now, but I do have 2 records to open, and we'll open those, and then I'll just kind of do some peanut butter fam cakes. What's up, Adam? Yeah, so let me open these 2 records, and then we got Rye here too. Rye die. All right, sweet. This is like all the OGs basically. We just need Mike Alexander, and I don't know what happened to Ryan. That dude like fell off the face of the earth. But Ryan, Miss Ryan, maybe get Frank in here, and then we're really kind of cooking with gas. But all right, let me open the first record. This is gonna be a little bit, a little niche. I try not to open niche records on these streams, and I always end up doing it because I really don't order that many niche records. They just happen to coincide with when I do these live streams. So let's give me a little bit of slack. Cut me some slack, folks. All right. So this first one is a cool release that I was really excited about. So what's the orientation here? So this is Star Stories. It's called. Yeah, this is Star Stories. So this was a pre-order for a tribute album to the Super Mario Galaxy soundtrack. I really enjoyed Mario Galaxy. I only played through it once, probably around the time it came out. Definitely a top tier Mario game. Probably just below 64 and Odyssey for me. But the music in it is phenomenal, as it is with pretty much every Mario game in the series, and this is a tribute to it. I would like to show off the variant because it's very pretty from what I've seen in pictures. Yeah, this is lovely. This is a lovely variant. Let's see if we can do a little. Let's see if we can make it look a little better. Hold on. Let's see what we got here. Hold on. There we go. Oh, my face. All right. Yeah, how cool is that? Well, here we go. That is absolutely beautiful. I love that kind of translucent when it comes to records. Love that. Love that. I'm blind. No. Okay. Ow, my face. Okay. I'm okay. I'm all right. Oh, what's up, Kaiser Soze? Just saw you in here. But yeah, super cool variant. I've heard the music is phenomenal. I mean, if it's any kind of tribute to Mario Galaxy, it's going to be great. So excited to give it a spin. Be cool. What's going on, Leland? Did you get your TMR shirt? Ooh, it's a 45 RPM cut, someone said. That's exciting. All right, this next one is going to be for you Brazilian music fans or aspiring Brazilian music fans. Before I open this, I'll give you a little backstory. So, as you guys know, for the store, I have a lot of Brazilian records. I had a lot more when I opened up, and they've been ransacked by the collectors of Portland over the past few weeks. But there's still quite a few gems, one of which is one of the rarest records in my store, which is a first pressing of the album I'm about to show you. The cover was censored in subsequent pressings because it was kind of offensive. But this is I bought this reissue because I'm curious how it sounds in comparison to the original press, because I spun the original press in the store and it sounds absolutely phenomenal. And I'm wondering if this repress sounds good as well. The repress actually manages to have... Oh, no. Looks like there's a crease. What's going on here? Hold on. The repress manages to have the uncensored cover, which is interesting. But, hold on. Let me see if I can get this open without destroying everything. There's so much tape on this for a single disc. Come on. But this is one of my favorite Brazilian artists and also one of my favorite Brazilian albums, probably. And there's a little crease, but that's okay. Hey, Chris with the super chat. I'm the greatest of all time. Some would call it the GOAT. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you for your support, Chris. If you have a question, let me answer it for you. But yeah, so this is a yeah. There's definitely some creasing. Like it was, for some reason, it got a little ransacked. Anyway, I'm not going to show the back cover because it's the one that got banned, but I'm going to show the front cover. So this is Caetano Veloso, and this is Joia. This is Caetano basically leaning into his John Lennon worship phase. I mean, you can tell by the cover of this he was heavily inspired by some of the stuff that Yoko and John were doing. And he also has a tremendous cover of Help, the Beatles song, which is one of my favorite Beatles covers I've ever heard. There's really so much fragility in his voice. It feels very, I don't know, it just feels very earnest and coming from a place that's honest. So the original press of this is up on my back wall right now. It's like $150, which is a great price because you never see a clean original press of this album. I'm going to spin this and hear how it sounds. I just saw Janosch says everything that they've done is pretty stellar. If it sounds terrible, I might keep the original press just because it's such a great album. But if it sounds pretty good, I might keep this and sell the original to a true collector that's really after some of those Brazilian gems. So excited to kind of experiment with that. You know, I've noticed that with Brazilian records, there's a bit of a hit or miss aspect with some of the reissues. Some of them sound phenomenal and some of them sound like trash. So you really got to kind of test things out back and forth. I think I'm going to show you guys, I'm going to do a new kind of game with you guys right now, with all 44 of you in here, but there's only 8 likes. What the heck, folks? Hit that like button. Don't make me beg. Rydie, in NYC 1 week. Where should I dig? Ask in the room. You got to go to A1. I mean, for someone like you, Ryan, A1 is your number 1 pick. Definitely go to Human Head. You're going to find a lot of rarities there. Stop by Limited to 1, although I don't know if that's your vibe musically as much as some other people. But yeah, those are my 3 picks without a doubt. Dylan asks, what was his name again? It's Caetano Veloso. All right, so this is a little game I'm gonna play with you. It's not, and there are so many of you in here that know your stuff so well when it comes to pressings and different kind of options. So I have set aside 3 different records, and I have 2 pressings of each record, and I'm not sure which to keep, and I'm not sure which to sell in the store. So I am planning on listening to them, but it'd be awesome if some of you guys have insight on these pressings, so it can save me a listen. So I could just save efficiencies and whatnot. So the first one is the classic Buena Vista Social Club. I have this repress from a few years back. I don't remember exactly what year it is, but heavy gatefold, whatever it may be, it's supposed to sound good. And then I have the Vinyl Me Please version, and I don't know which of these is the better sounding version. I'm leaning towards keeping the VMP because it's a cool variant and it comes with the print and all that jazz. But I don't, sometimes VMP albums lately have sounded like total trash. So I don't want to be stuck with... For me, as you guys know, I am a collector, but I also care a lot about sound quality. So for me, sound quality is paramount comparatively to just collectability. Like, the goal is to have a really cool variant that sounds good, like every record on the TMR label. But that doesn't always happen. So someone says they're the same mastering. People say to do the VMP for sure. Keep the VMP. All right. It sounds like, I think Bernie did both of these if I remember correctly. But all right, it sounds like the VMP is the one to keep, and it sounds like this one is going in the store, which I looked it up, doesn't go for that much. Between 30 and 40 bucks. It's not that rare. I think it was rare for a while, and there's been enough represses where it's not as rare anymore, which is interesting. I see a lot of questions coming in. If you want them answered immediately, drop me a super chat. Otherwise, I'm going to finish this segment, and then I'll get to your questions. Tyler's here. What's going on, Tyler? Glad to have you here. All right, so the next one we're going to do is one of my favorite Brazilian records. I have two versions of it. So I have an original CTI pressing, not original. I haven't sat down and done the whole variant dance to figure out which year it was, but an early CTI pressing. Actually, that's a lie. I do have the year. Hold on. I'm going to get the year for you. Hold on one second. Okay, hold on. I don't know why I'm lying to you. So this is a 1972 CTI pressing versus a more recent pressing by ORG. So this is the classic album and by Antonio Carlos Jobim, Stone Flower. ORG is known for making incredible reissues, most notably some of the stuff they do at Palace, like the Nirvana stuff, and they really are becoming somewhat of an audiophile label. I just am not sure which is going to be better when it comes to the ORG or like a 70s CTI pressing of this absolute classic. Chris is the chat king yesterday, today, and tomorrow. As of now, I think Chris is the chat king. There's still time for someone to dethrone the king, though. Yanosh says he has a Speaker's Corner version. Yes, I've heard the Speaker's Corner version is incredible. I've also heard that the ORG 2-disc 45 RPM pressing is the definitive version of this album. I don't have that. It goes for like $175, so I'm probably not going to ever have it. But I was trying to do research on Discogs and on the Steve Hoffman forums, and unfortunately, there was a lot of non-conclusive anecdotal evidence about which was better. Like, there was a lot of discussion about which was better for different reasons, and there was no definitive answer. So I'm leaning towards keeping the ORG. I don't know, though. The ORG is rarer, so if I put the ORG in the store, it'd be rarer than this one, I believe. Actually, they both go for decent money, because this is a very, very, very clean copy. It looks almost near mint, I think. But if no one knows, I will have to give them a listen and kind of assess. I gotta be honest, guys. It's not Tyler almost being the chat king. I'm not the best at like comparing back to back. For some reason, I'm not great at like listening to two records and like hearing which one was better. Like if I have to swap them, my ears are just not trained like that. So that's why shootouts for me, like it's kind of like a sketchy thing for me to do. Wizard of Loneliness is here, dude. Colin, I don't think I received the record yet. And I've been waiting for it. I have to check my tracking again, but I don't think I have it. But I am very excited to get your record because I love you. All right, so final pairing of records, and this is a big one. I think I know which one I'm going to keep, but I'm open for discussion. So this is an iconic record. There's two versions here. There's a Mo-Fi version and a Acoustic Sounds Verve collab that is an audiophile reissue from original analog tapes. So I have a MoFi Getz Gilberto, and I have this Acoustic Sounds. Now, Acoustic Sound Analog Production did a version a few years prior to this that is apparently phenomenal sounding, 45 RPM. It's not this one, though. This is a collaboration they did with Verve. So it is not the Acoustic Sounds one from like 2017 or 18. This is one that is more recent, and it was cheap. It was like $25 or $30, which makes me question a lot. This is not 45 RPM. I cannot afford the 45 RPM. Yeah, this is a reissue from, I believe, 2020. It says that it is from original tapes. Let's see. It says original analog tapes pressed at QRP, but that's all it says. It doesn't say who. It doesn't say anything about who cut it, who mastered it. I'm very curious because obviously MoFi, there isn't a lot of info about this. If you go to the MoFi, first of all, like it blows my mind that for something this classic, I go to the Discogs listing for this and there's like no comments. Like there was maybe like one comment. Normally stuff like this has like 50 comments of people being like, wow, this sounds amazing, the high end, the low end. Like people go crazy for MoFi stuff. There's one comment on this, so how are you supposed to know how it sounds? So I'm gonna have to listen to both. Again, my ears is just like, I know when I hear a good sounding record, but to compare to is so difficult. So this might be one I have to listen to both of them and just kind of do my best to suss out what's the better option. But it's not easy for me, guys. I'm not a musician, and I'm not an engineer. My ears are not trained in that specific way. But I'm gonna try. I guess we'll see what happens. All right. So that was the clinical part of this. I'm gonna share a couple things with you guys real quick. So I have some really cool stuff bubbling up for the channel. Hopefully next week I can make a video about it. I don't want to, what's the term, play my cards too quickly, but there's an opportunity that has approached me that is potentially over time going to allow me to do things with the Too Many Records channel that I've wanted to do for years. Some of you might have an idea when I say that, what I could be talking about, but I'm really excited. It brings interesting prospects to me selling online for the store. It just allows for the potential of really high quality content moving forward. Not consistently, but like having these kind of hero pieces that come out every now and again. And I'm really excited about it. So I'm still kind of in talks with some people to figure out exactly how it's going to work, but look forward to that soon. I'm very excited, and I hope you guys will embrace the ride as I share what might be happening. So that'll be next week, hopefully. I'll be at the store today. I'll be going there in about an hour. I don't know. I don't think there's any locals here besides Roland. I was going to say you guys should come in. Still, no one has claimed the Enjoy the Ride out of service free record. All you have to do is come in and talk to me about the USB drive, and lots of people came in, but no one talked about the USB drive. So it is still ready to be claimed. So whoever comes in today and asks about the USB drive will get the free record. Pretty generous of Enjoy the Ride. Let me see what I've missed in the chat. Do I have any records from the Scottish bands like Mogwai, Cocteau Twins, Jesus and Mary Chain? Do I have a Mogwai record? I used to have a couple Mogwai records. I used to have the Hawk is Howling. I like Mogwai, but I'm not a huge fan. I went to a Mogwai show once, and it was the loudest show I've ever been to the point of I felt like I was in pain afterwards. Like it hurt me. I love Cocteau Twins. I do have a handful of Cocteau Twins records. I am trying to track down a original press of Heaven or Las Vegas, hoping that it comes in a collection buy one day, but we'll see. What do I think of HD vinyl? Do I think it will ever come to fruition? I think that it's like a very nebulous concept right now, and I need to hear more information about it because it seems like it's, I don't know, a fad that won't pick up, but who's to say? How's the store going? Sales and traffic good. Yeah, the store's been going very well. The first week was pretty insane and was nice to like provide a little bit of a buffer. Um, I will say that every week since has been great too. First of all, it's been really cool meeting people in the community. I've met a lot of really interesting, kind, cool people. Um, I plan on making a video at some point in the next couple weeks, kind of about some thoughts, having owned a record store for a month and a half at that point, 2 months maybe. Just kind of general thoughts about how it's my thoughts on what it's like to be a record store owner and like how it's affected me as like a hobbyist. So I plan to do a video about that, which I think would be cool. Corey, if you're local, come in today, 3 to 8. I have the USB drive, and you get a free record. All you have to do is post it on Instagram and post like the USB drive and tag the band and the label. So come in if you're free. Quick hello from Melbourne, Australia. What's up, Robert? Oh, and Tyler. Going to Motley, Def, Poison. Am I a fan at all? So I'm not a huge Motley Crue fan, but I do love Def Leppard and Poison. In high school, I listened to a lot of Def Leppard and Poison. I actually saw Def Leppard with Journey when I was back in high school, which was a great show. Poison, I feel like I would rock out to I Want Action and Talk Dirty to Me, like some of those like really fun hair metal songs. High school, that was like a big thing for me, so I would absolutely go see them live. What's a good album when you want to start getting into prog rock? Same question for Radiohead. I mean, for prog rock, I think maybe like Moving Pictures might be the most accessible prog rock record. I don't know though. I'm not a massive prog fan, so there might be someone else in this chat who could answer that better. For Radiohead, a great album to get into them, I believe, is In Rainbows. I think that's their best album. I think it's pretty accessible. It's beautiful. I can't think of anyone that dislikes. Oh man, these sex bots keep coming in here. How do I? It's unbelievable. This is the second time this has happened. Put user in timeout. Bye. In Rainbows is a great pick. OK Computer is another great pick to start. I mean, well, you could even just start at the Bends and go forward to see their kind of overarching mobility as an artist. It's pretty cool. Vinyl is fundamentally a flawed format compared to CD and digital. How do you justify spending money on improving a vinyl playback setup when you know this is to be the case? That's an interesting take. I don't think it's flawed. I think it's easier to have flaws manifest, but I think that 1-to-1, if you're comparing like a well-mastered CD with a well-mastered and cut record, analog, I think that one is not better than the other. They're different, and there's a lot of inherent value to the record itself. I feel like the analog sound is something a lot of people appreciate when they take the time to get into vinyl properly. So it's a good question, and I feel like if you like that warm analog sound, if you like replicating that kind of live feeling and that energy, upgrading your setup only helps you magnify those sounds that you personally enjoy. So that's how you justify it. But I do think that there are diminishing returns when it comes to upgrading your setup. I think that it's not just like the more money you spend, the better it sounds. I think for your average person, for the most part, you're going to hit a ceiling. For someone new into vinyl, what record player should you buy? You have $150. You should save up another 100, and you should get the Fluance RT81, because unfortunately there isn't a great option at 150 at this time. The Target Heyday was an okay option at 100, but I feel like they don't sell them anymore. Someone told me that they discontinued it. I'm not quite sure. Thoughts on VMP? I'm Wide Awake. It's Morning by Bright Eyes. It's one of my favorite records. It was on my top 100 albums of all time series. I'm excited that they're doing it. I only have a black vinyl pressing, so I'm hoping it sounds better than the one I have, and I'll replace it. Hopefully it turns more people onto that record if they don't know it. I think it's a masterclass in songwriting. Hey, Michael. Was wondering if I heard the new Drake. I heard the first 3 tracks, and I didn't dislike it as much as I have his past few records, but I also wasn't wowed by it. I think the song where he samples a squeaking bed is super cringy. But that's kind of been Drake's, like, his whole thing for a while now. He's just been a little cringy. What's something I'd like to improve on for the store? The aesthetic and the vibe. Right now it's very clean and very bright. I'm trying to figure out ways to bring life into it, make it feel a little more homey, maybe fix some of the clinical lighting and make it feel a little more warm. So that's top of my agenda right now. You got a Daniel Johnston 8-track. Do I think it'll be good value in the future? I couldn't even begin to tell you if 8 tracks will ever have value. I should get a Too Many Records tattoo. I have no tattoos. I'm open to it, though. I don't know. If I ever got a tattoo, I kind of want to do, like, a sleeve of, like, a lot of the art from albums that I love and, like, kind of, like, have it, like, a collage of, like, different elements of those albums, but it's very expensive, and I don't know if I'll ever actually do it. Thoughts on the new Beyonce single? I haven't heard it yet. I've heard mixed reviews, though. What do you guys think? Have you heard it? What's the craziest record I found when buying collections? There's this extremely crazy, I think his name is Nick Mathis. Hold on. I'm looking it up. Nick Mathis makes some kind of magic ebony woman. It was, so I bought a collection. There were a bunch of 12-inch singles, like 80 of them in a trough, and I was going through them, and I pulled out one, and it wasn't a single, it was an album, and it actually was this from the 70s, this Private Press soul jazz record by Nick Mathis, and it was the only pressing of it, the only album that he has on Discogs, and it goes for like a ton of money, and it very rarely pops up for sale, which was super cool to find in there just randomly. So that's on my rare wall right now, and I listened to it, and it's phenomenal. The female vocalist that's on there has such a terrific voice. I'm tempted to keep it because I don't know if I'd ever find that again, but very cool. What do I think of the Best of Sade vinyl? I think that you should get the Sade box set because everything of Sade is the best of Sade. Hey Matt, appreciate your videos. They helped me a lot 2 years ago when I started getting into vinyl. Hey Justin, thank you very much. I'm glad that I helped, and hopefully I will continue to help. Does the PNW seem to have a lot of vinyl lingering around? Yes, I feel like every week there's new collections popping up for sale online that I can find. There's a lot of vinyl in these parts, and I'm just waiting for more to unearth themselves. But I have so many records in the back, and I'm going to talk about this in my video I'm going to do, but like my limitation as of now is not finding cool records, it's finding time to price them. Pricing takes an enormous amount of time, and I have thousands of records in the back, many of which are very cool to put out, and I just need time to clean them and price them. Clean the ones that need cleaning, and pricing takes a bit of time. Do I like Iron Maiden? I'm a very casual Iron Maiden fan. I wouldn't say I'm like a big fan. Just got to see 2 of your favorite bands playing a show with an orchestra. Did I ever catch a show like that? Oh yeah. And from what I can recall, just like without thinking too hard, I've seen Jose Gonzalez with an orchestra. I've seen Sigur Rós with an orchestra. I saw Kishibashi with an orchestra. Yeah, I think orchestral shows are phenomenal. What do I think of the packaging for Donda on vinyl? I mean, I haven't seen what the gatefold looks like. I've only seen the black cover and back. I mean, I'd like to see what that looks like. If I would like to get into prog rock metal, recommend Dream Theater's Images and Words. Okay, I've always heard about Dream Theater. I haven't really sat there with them, but perhaps I will give them a shot at some point. Did I enjoy Gigaton? I loved Gigaton. I think it might be my least favorite Pearl Jam record, but that's saying a lot, or that's not saying a lot, because I love every Pearl Jam record. But it's a very solid album front to back. Hey Lisa, How's the record store doing? It's doing well. It's doing very well. Thank you for asking. I was just saying to everybody that I'm going to be doing a video talking about like my thoughts a month and a half or 2 months into the process. What's my favorite concept album? It's a good question. I don't know offhand. I got to think about it. Is Because the Internet a concept album? I don't know. I mean, there's a story behind it, but how hard is oh man, these bots, man, come on, so annoying. How hard is when I buy a collection and find a record I really want but know it could sell big? Do I keep it or sell it? That is a difficult thing for sure. I feel like I have to kind of really assess if it's an album I want just because it's rare or if it's an album I'll actually listen to. And more often than not, I'll probably put it in the store because it's important to keep the store full of stuff, because if there's cool stuff, people keep coming back and then the store succeeds, right? Has buying from collections helped me expand my music taste on genres I wasn't familiar with? Yes, and that's going to be in a video coming up soon. How's the degritter holding up? It's great. I have no issues with it. I love it. I use it every single day. Love it. How do I find out when records get repressed? Usually I'll find out via Facebook groups or Reddit's vinyl releases section. Those are probably the top options. Best record of 2022 so far. I'm not going to answer that yet because I got to wait for my big video. Thoughts on the Mars Volta reunion after 10 years. I'm not a huge Mars Volta fan, so I'm excited for people that are, but it's not for me. Would I want a Kanye box set, albums, demos, unreleased? Yeah, I mean, that's the dream. If they could actually, like, get someone like AP or MoFi to do a Kanye box set and actually, like, remaster things properly for vinyl, I would pay whatever it cost. I feel like he would have so much fun with it, too, if he just, like, I don't know, like, why can't he just go into the fact that he loves art and, like, make a beautiful artful box set of his music because he loves music too? It's nonsense to me. Okay, people are saying that the Donda, Dylan did an unboxing of Donda. Yeah, I haven't been spoiled yet, so I'm gonna wait. Or maybe Sebastian just spoiled it for me, but that's okay. If it's all black, I could have guessed that. Do the Aphex Twin shirts run a little small? Should you order a size up? Actually, I think they run a little big. This is a kind of a big shirt on me, but I love this shirt. I love the color of it. I love it all. Tony, that's incredibly frustrating to read. I don't sub to Vinylize, but he does have new content popping up on my feed on a regular basis. Meanwhile, the people that sub to me don't see my content at all. Thanks, YouTube. Freshman Adjustment. Yeah, there are some bootlegs. I think there's 3 of them from pre-college dropout. I mean, they, the tracks sound fine. I wouldn't, if you're a big Kanye fan, I'd grab them, but yeah. How many regulars do I see the store having already? There's a good amount. I think there's at least 5 or 6 people that have been in at least once a week since I've been open, if not more, which is really cool because and all of them have been really nice to talk to. Graduation by Kanye. Do I like it? I love it. I love it. What are my thoughts on the Slipknot Iowa reissue? My thoughts are I've been so busy, it's sitting right here and I haven't had a chance to spin it yet, which is painful. What do I notice are Portland's main genres? Saving it for the video. Tyler, you keep asking questions about that I want to talk about in the video. Do friends and family gift you records? No. What's funny is that I've almost never been gifted a record, maybe like twice in my life, because for the exact reason you just mentioned, they're afraid I'm going to own it. They don't know what I have and what I don't. I'm the kind of person who, if there's something I want, I usually find a way to get it for myself. So it's funny, as much as into records as I am, very few people actually get them for me, which I think is pretty funny. Um, have I heard of Fortet? I sure have. I probably have 5 or 6 Fortet records. What bands would I recommend for people that like Pearl Jam, Metallica, Avenged Sevenfold, Iron Maiden? Um, I mean, if you like Pearl Jam, make sure you dive into the other grunge ones like Soundgarden, Alice in Chains. I'm not a big metal guy though, so I'm not gonna be the one to recommend stuff. Maybe Mastodon. Um, Lisa, one day you and the boyfriend have to visit the store. Yeah, come on up, Lisa. Tony says, I never see your content in my feed. You have to manually look at your subs. YouTube has been trying to put a pillow over my channel's face for years now, and I am still breathing. But that's frustrating. It's an interesting point you make, Janosch. If I was going to go back in time before opening the record store, what advice would I tell myself to make the experience smoother or better? Um, Definitely be more realistic about what I wanted to pay for rent. I looked at a lot of places at the start that were more money than I would have been able to afford. Um, Definitely like project things better from the start, because when I started to actually sit down and do those calculations, I realized, oh, these places are way too expensive, or it's not worth it, and it kind of helped me narrow down my choices. Best David Bowie vinyl pressings that are available. I'm not going to be the one to know the answer to that. Top 5 songs of all time. I can't just pull that out of my head, unfortunately. Have I watched Record Safari? Yes, I have. It is a fantastic documentary. Alex is a very kind dude. I've had the pleasure of talking to him a handful of times over the years. Yeah, he's a great guy. Did I see Connor Oberst falling apart at his show? Yeah, I saw that. Hopefully he's okay. That guy has had a tortured life for sure. What is my favorite genre of music? Um, it is. It's hard to say, man. I mean, probably hip hop or pop punk, but I love everything basically, except country. Um, you received 100 records from your grandparents. They don't sound great. Would I keep for the sentimental value or sell or get rid of them? I mean, unless they were especially specifically sentimental to your grandparents, I don't know. I feel like you can just get rid of them. Zach Brown, is the record store my full-time job now, or is it part-time? See, this is what I'm talking about YouTube not showing my videos. Do you know I just did a video 2 weeks ago where I talked about how it's my full-time job now? YouTube, why do you make it so hard? I give the content. You don't give it out. It's so frustrating. um, do I listen to anything by NF? I don't think so. Any plans to collab with other VC channels? I mean, I would love to. It's just finding the time, schedules to align. No one really has approached me to do a VC channel or to do a collab in a while. I mean, I've done some in the past with Vinyl Rewind, with Noble Records. I would love to do more. What YouTube inspired me to be a YouTuber? I don't think any specific video inspired me. I just wanted to be able to kind of like create content talking about something I loved, and I've been watching YouTube since 2005. So I thought I'd give it a shot, and then people seem to dig it, which is great. So what's the verdict? Am I keeping that Slayer album? I am. The Slayer reissue sounds phenomenal. Really, really happy with the pressing. So I'm going to be keeping it. You know, it's pretty iconic thrash metal. I don't think I could get rid of it. Top 3 grunge bands: Pearl Jam, Soundgarden, Alice in Chains. It's kind of hard to argue, I think. I know a lot of people say Nirvana, but Nirvana's my number 4. Thoughts on Discovery by Daft Punk. One of my top 100 albums of all time. It was in my top 100 album series. I think it's excellent. Have I seen the new Stranger Things? No, my hot take is that Stranger Things should not have gone beyond 1 season. But that's just my hot take. Blur or Oasis? Probably Oasis. Vincenzo says, I don't see any of your videos. Perfect. That's what I want. In a level of 1 to 100, how excited am I to see Ichiko Aoba live? I am extremely excited. When I saw that show was happening in Portland, I don't think I've ever purchased tickets so fast for a show. My hope, though, her music is so intimate and personal that if people are talking during this show, I'm going to go to jail because I'm going to assault somebody, because there's just such a rare opportunity to see her perform in the States. And every show I've been to for the past few years, there's just idiots, absolute freaking morons, talking the whole time. Like, this is my number one pet peeve. If you spend the money to go to a show and you get out and leave your home and you go in a car and go to a venue and wait in line and you get patted down, you go inside, you buy a drink, and then you're talking through the show, you should be murdered. Like, I'm sorry, maybe that's a little harsh, but like, you should be murdered. And if there was a law that passed that said if someone's talking throughout an entire show loud enough that you can hear them and you can murder them, I would vote for it. That's just my feelings. Hip hop or pop punk, aka Machine Gun Kelly's life. That's funny, Roland. How do I feel about Mondo and Funko? It's an interesting news story. I need to read more about it to kind of know how I feel about it. I think Mondo wouldn't do. It's not like they were doing poorly. I feel like they wouldn't make a decision like that if it wasn't smart. So hopefully that goes in. Oh man, the bots are out today. What's my opinion when an album doesn't click for me? I give it more listens or just come to terms it's not my thing. I mean, if an album doesn't click after like the second listen, I usually give up on it unless someone's like, this is absolutely something you would like, or there's like such hype around it that I'm like, okay, I really got to give it another shot. But usually two times, if I'm not into it after two, it's just not an album for me most of the time. Thoughts on Victory Lap by Nipsey Hussle? It's a solid record. I wouldn't say it's revolutionary. It's sad that he passed away, but it's a solid record. Am I going to a show of the next Kid Cudi tour with Denzel Curry and Don Toliver? I'm not going. I don't know if they're coming to Portland, but that's a great lineup. Denzel Curry's new album is probably my favorite album he's ever done. What do I think about Joji's new song? I'm not a huge Joji fan, so I haven't listened to it. Talkers should be kicked out of shows. Talkers should be kicked out of life. I feel so strongly about this. What's my top Jimi Hendrix album? I'm a very casual Jimi Hendrix fan, so I don't really have a good answer for that. I really enjoy a lot of his songs. I'd probably just get a comp if I had a Jimi Hendrix thing in my collection. I don't even think I do. Do I prefer acrylic or cork turntable mats? Acrylic is fantastic, like acrylic platter. If you don't have an acrylic platter, cork is definitely the way to go. Do I know any indie grunge bands? I mean, there are some artists like Charlie Bliss that kind of take a note out of grunge a little bit of, but like I don't know a ton of indie grunge bands that are capitalizing on that kind of sound that made the 90s. What's my all-time favorite box set? It's got to be either the Ozzy Osbourne box set, or I'm looking at all my box sets right now. It's got to be the Ozzy box set. I mean, it's so epic. Do I like Guided by Voices or know of them? I know of them. I've heard them. I am not a huge fan. I don't dislike it. It's just not necessarily my thing. Nas and Wu-Tang going on tour. Would I go see them? Yeah, that sounds like a pretty good show. What's my hottest take about the vinyl format? I don't know. I feel like I gotta think on that one. Do I believe in paying $25,000 for high-end turntables? No. There's diminishing returns. There's no way that... There's no way... There's no way. There's no way that an average human being can tell the difference between a $2,000 turntable and a $20,000 turntable. There's no way. There's no way. I think people sometimes get those expensive turntables to pretend like they have the supersonic hearing to be able to justify it. Lord, have mercy. Do I like dream pop-ish bands? I do, yeah. I'm not as into them as I was, but I definitely enjoy some good dream pop. Am I into Anticon? A little bit. I know Anticon did some Y and some tobacco, I think. So that kind of stuff for sure. Yeah, Janosch makes a good point that sometimes a higher end turntable will magnify imperfections, which is obviously not what you want either. So I feel like it could potentially drag someone who's really specific, make them crazy. What's the most expensive record I have for sale at the store right now? I think it's my first press of Magic Sam, blues guitar. Uh, it's like basically near mint, with like just a little bit of wear on the cover. That's probably the rarest record I have in the store. 90s Midwest emo, yay or nay? Yay, although I'm not like personally a massive fan, I do enjoy it. I think if I grew up listening to more of it, I might have enjoyed it, but or enjoyed it more. But yeah, just pretty casual. Favorite new artist of the last 2 years? I don't know offhand. That's a tough question. Of who just came out, like I'm not sure. Any records come through the shop, I'm surprised on the price it goes for. Yeah, definitely tons of them. That's like half the fun of pricing records is being like, whoa, this is really rare. Did I cop Donda on vinyl? I did. It's not here yet though. Do I like Death Consciousness by Have a Nice Life? I sure do. I've been talking about Death Consciousness since probably 2016 on this channel. There's definitely a couple videos from back then where I show off that album. But that's ancient at this point. No one's going back to that stuff. Do I like clipping? Yeah, I love clipping. Clipping rocks. Hey, a super chat. It's been a minute. Thank you, T480. How do I feel about vinyl priced high at a store but not discounted after not selling for 6 months? How often will I be discounting non-movers? That's a great question. I think in the bins, it's kind of hard to go through and discount stuff. I think probably every month I'd probably go back and look in the bins and see if there's things after 2 months of being in the bins and if it hasn't moved, maybe I'll discount it. But the wall stuff, there's an interesting philosophy behind that, and I think that for me, my thought is that after about 3 months, after 3 weeks or a month of a record being on the wall, I'll probably put it on Discogs or sell it through some other method. And if it doesn't sell through that method, I will lower the price at that point. But I definitely want to cycle things off the wall to give, the feeling of new wall records showing up. I have a lot of thoughts about wall records with regards to the Portland market, and I'll be talking about that in a video soon. So thank you for the question. What's my biggest musical discovery recently? You have to wait for my video I'm doing very soon. It's going to be all about albums I discovered from the first month of the store. Am I ready to sell you this deluxe version of Swiss Army Romance? No, I'm looking at it right now, though. Who's the last artist I discovered that I was completely ignorant to that immediately jumped into my favorite artists list? by artist, I feel like it has to be more than one album, right? Because like Gang of Youths is something that I ignored for a while, and now I'm like really into. But that's a good question. I don't know. Johnny, I'm gonna be doing a video about that soon. You miss seeing me hunt for records. Get out and find some grails. It's funny you say that, Hadass, because I've been teasing this kind of announcement for a while a while on this stream today, and next week there's going to be a really interesting announcement that might be related to that. Favorite Alice in Chains album is Dirt. You got a direct drive turntable from Techniques from Goodwill for $30. Nice. Good find, man. During holiday weekends, would I ever do sales or clearance racks? Depending on the holiday, I don't think sometimes I did a little sale for Record Store Day, but clearance racks are kind of cringy to me. I don't know. I feel like I don't love clearance racks. Do I have a Discogs? Yeah, you can go to the Discogs for the store. It's Too Many Records PDX. It's not fully up to date with everything from the store by any means, but I'm going to be putting things on there periodically. First record I ever bought, The National's Alligator. And that's the last time I'm answering that question for the rest of my life. I just decided. Have there been any records I ran into and thought, who the hell would like this? Yeah, The Lynx. Someone traded in an album by The Lynx, like a 60s like guy group that's like psychedelic covers of standards that's like really bad, but probably incredible for sampling. It's a pretty rare record though. But I can't imagine someone sitting down and not sampling it and just listening to it. Oh, Eva Cassidy might be the answer, Janosch. That's a really good. Any updates on TMR 13? Yeah, I actually spoke to Got a Groove a couple days ago, kind of trying to understand where they were at. Guys, they told me that if I wanted to do a Wax Mage pressing, it'd be looking at August 2023 for shipping. That's how busy Wax Mage has gotten over the past year or two. Everybody wants one now. Everybody's using Heath. And that's a bummer because I was going to do a Wax Mage for the next TMR release. So I want to be able to announce it soon, but I really don't want to announce a pre-order that's going to be a year plus pre-order. You know what I mean? So it's like it's difficult for me. So we'll see what happens, but hopefully sooner than later. TMR 13 and arguably 14 and arguably 15 are all kind of figured out in my head. Maybe even 16. There's a lot. It's just the limitation is literally the pipeline, you know? Have I heard the microphones? I sure have. Yeah. I like the microphones a lot. Drew! What's up, buddy? You came on just like a few minutes before I end this, so your timing is horrible, but nice to see you. Yeah, guys, we're going to probably do like 2 more minutes, and then I got to go get ready and head over to the store, which will be fun. If anyone has any final super chats for some questions, now is the time. Oh yeah, Drew, grapefruit is Roland, FYI. But this was great for a completely unprompted live stream with no lead up to it except for this morning. I appreciate you guys coming here and kind of just chatting with me. I want to do a live stream from the store, but I'm concerned the internet is not fast enough. I need to buy an adapter for my laptop to be able to put an Ethernet into it, but even so, the only internet available from my location was not great. So I would be afraid that the latency or just like the quality of the playback would be delayed, or I got to try one at some point, but we'll see what happens. Tyler with the appreciation super chat. Thank you, brother. Always appreciate you. Let's see. Any final questions before we call it for today? Okay. It's been lovely as always. Thank you, Nikki. Always glad to see you here. yeah, guys, look forward to the announcement next week. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be fun. You're gonna like it. Oh man, right before I leave, it has to come back for more. I just can't snuff it. Okay. Thank you guys for joining me on this live stream. I'll do more of these soon. They're fun. They're easy. Enjoy the rest of your week.